Important questions on Salesforce LWC. Q1. What is LWC? Lightning components can be built using two programming models, Lightning Web Components, and the original model, Aura Components. Lightning Web Components are custom HTML elements made using HTML and modern JavaScript. Lightning Web Components and Aura Components can coexist and interoperate on a page. To admins and end users, they both appear as Lightning Components. Lightning Web Components uses core Web Components standards and provides only what's necessary to perform well in browsers supported by Salesforce. Q2. Do you think Aura Web Components and Lightning Web Components can coexist together? Yes, both Aura Lightning Components and Lightning Web Components can coexist together. Q3. Describe the file structure of Lightning Web Components. Here is the file structure of Lightning Web Components. myComponent.html, myComponent.js, myComponent.js, meta.xml, myComponent.css, myComponent.svg. Q4. What are the key differences between Aura and LWC? 1. Developer tooling. 2. Standard syntax and files. 3. Performance improvements. 4. Lightning message service. 5. Lightning data services. Developer tooling. Unlike Aura, you cannot edit or develop LWC components in the developer console. You'll need to use another integrated development environment, IDE, like Visual Studio Code, because Salesforce has released an extension pack to make LWC development easier and faster. Standard syntax and files. Conventions in Aura were specifics of the framework, whereas conventions in LWC are just standard HTML, CSS, or JavaScript. Whereas in Aura, you had a CMP file, in LWC, you have a HTML file. And whereas in Aura, you used custom Aura events, in LWC, you use standard DOM events. Performance improvements. In LWC, when you change a class property, the framework implicitly understands that a re-render is needed. The LWC approach improves the developer experience as it is more like JavaScript. Though the framework observes most property changes, there are two situations LWC doesn't observe by default for performance reasons: changes in array elements and changes in object properties. However, developers can explicitly declare that the framework should observe those changes by using the attract decorator. Lightning message service. In Aura, you use application events to communicate between components in different DOM hierarchies. The replacement in LWC is the Lightning message service. This service enables you to publish and subscribe to messages on a message channel. Lightning message service not only enables the communication between LWCs in different DOM hierarchies, but it also enables communication with Visualforce pages and Aura components. Lightning data services. The Lightning data service cache is shared among Aura and LWC components, which means all your components will synchronize if they use Lightning data service no matter which framework they use. Q5. How do Lightning Web Components communicate with Aura components? Aura and LWC can be able to communicate using public APIs and events. LWC can be embedded inside Aura components, but Aura components cannot be embedded inside LWC. Q6. Can Lightning Web Components be embedded within Aura component? Yes, Lightning Web Components can be embedded within Aura components, whereas the reverse cannot happen. Q7. How we can iterate the list in LWC. Two options are available. 1. For each to iterator. 1. For each. When using the for each directive, use for item equals current item to access the current item, but to access the current item's index, use for index equals index. To assign a key to the first element in the nested template, use the key equals unique id directive. 2. Iterator. To apply special behavior to the first or last item in a list, use the iterator directive. Iterator name equals array. Use the iterator directive on a template tag. Use iterator name to access these properties. Value, the value of the item in the list. Use this property to access the properties of the array. For example, iterator name.value.property name. Index, the index of the item in the list. First, a Boolean value indicating whether this item is the first item in the list. Last, a Boolean value indicating whether this item is the last item in the list. Q8. What are the decorators in LWC? The Lightning Web Components programming model has three decorators that add functionality to a property or function. 1. At API. 2. At track. 3. At wire. At API. To expose the public property, decorate a field with at API. Public properties define the API for a component. To expose a public method, decorate it with at API. Public methods are part of a component's API. To communicate down the containment hierarchy, owner and parent components can call JavaScript methods on child components. At track. If a field's value changes and the field is used in a template or in a getter of a property that's used in a template, the component re-renders and displays the new value. If a field is assigned an object or an array, the framework observes some changes to the internals of the object or array, such as when you assign a new value. To tell the framework to observe changes to the properties of an object, decorate the field with at track. At wire. To read Salesforce data, Lightning Web Components use a reactive wire service. When the wire service provisions data, the component re-renders. Components use @wire in their JavaScript class to specify a wire adapter or an Apex method. Q9. How to override/customize the standard Lightning Web Component stylings. We can use SLDS styling hooks to override the standard LWC component stylings. SLDS styling hooks are the CSS variables defined by the SLDS framework to which we can set custom values, like colors, font size, border color, etc. Q10. How can we track the database changes in the Lightning Web Component and refresh the UI on data updates? If we need to track the changes done by Lightning Data Service, then we can use the getRecordChangeNotify function from the LDS. The getRecordNotify change use case. The record is updated from outside of the Lightning Data Service mechanism. For example, the record is updated via imperative Apex call. But if you need to track data changed from other places like Apex Trigger, Flow, API integrations, then we need to use the Change Data Capture, CDC. Q11. What's annotation used to invoke an Apex method imperatively from LWC? Answer is @Aura enabled. Q12. What's the annotation used to wire an Apex method to a property or function in LWC? answer is at Torah enabled cacheable equals true. If you are interested to learn LWC, please visit our website or contact this number.